Hello everyone, we're back with more tributes, so welcome to another video on our channel News Faster. This video features a list of American legends who died recently or within the last few days. Number 1. Paul Di'Anno. The former vocalist for Iron Maiden, Paul Di'Anno, who oversaw the band's first two albums, has away. The legendary metal singer died in his Salisbury, UK home. He was 66. On behalf of his family, Di'Anno's long-standing record company Conquest Music confirmed the news of his passing today, October 21st. Di'Anno had been confined to performing in a wheelchair due to health problems that had been plaguing her for several years, according to a statement. However, it also mentioned that since 2023, he had performed at over 100 events. On August 30th, he played his last show as a solo artist at Hyde Park in Krakow, Poland. Born in 1958 in Chingford, East London, Di'Anno sang in a few rock bands during his early years before joining Iron Maiden in 1978. Before leaving in 1981, Di'Anno contributed a blend of gravelly, street-tough swagger and soaring vibrato to the group's first two albums, Iron Maiden 1980 and Killers 1981. The Made in Japan Live EP was also released during the Di'Anno period. Following Maiden, Di'Anno released a number of solo albums, in addition to Battlezone, Killers, Gog Magog, and Paul Di'Anno's Warhorse. His most recent compilation, The Book of the Beast, 2024, including re-recorded versions of songs from his Maiden days as well as solo performances of original compositions. Number 2. Fethullah Gulen. Number 1. Fethullah Gulen. Fethullah Gulen, an American Islamic preacher who was charged with planning a failed 2016 coup attempt in Turkey, passed away at the age of 83. Known for spearheading a global movement supporting democracy, interfaith understanding, and education, Gulen lived in self-imposed exile in Pennsylvania for decades. According to exiled journalist Abdullah Bozkurt, the former editor of the Today's Zaman newspaper, his nephew Kemal Gulen verified his death. The news was verified by the Turkish Foreign Ministry using intelligence sources. After a falling out with Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, Gulen, once a close ally, became one of the government's most bitterly criticized critics. Erdogan called Gulen a terrorist and blamed him for the military-led coup attempt, while Gulen accused Erdogan of authoritarianism. Using tanks, jets, and helicopters, groups within the Turkish military attempted to topple the government on the evening of July 15, 2016. Erdogan urged people to resist, and they poured into the streets. There were almost 2,200 injuries and 251 fatalities from the brutal altercation. Turkey called for Gulen's extradition, despite his denials of involvement in the coup, but the U.S. refused, citing a lack of proof. Turkey clamped down on Gulen's movement after the coup, closing institutions associated with him and making hundreds of arrests. The crackdown was criticized by Gulen as a witch hunt that targeted defenseless civilians. Number 3. Bob Yerkes. The Hollywood stunt performer Bob Yerkes, who was well known for his roles in the Back to the Future and Star Wars films, has away. He was 92, according to a statement released by his colleague stunt performer Darlene Williams Bostock, who trained with Yerkes growing up. The former acrobat passed away Tuesday morning at his home in Northridge, California. Bostock wrote on Facebook, "I am deeply saddened to learn that my mentor and stunt coach Bob Yerkes passed away this morning in Northridge, California. Bobby welcomed anyone who needed a place to stay or to train for a job into his house and lawn. Without Bob Yerkes, I could not have pursued a career in stunts. There will never be another Bob Yerkes," she continued in part. "I have a broken heart. It is an honor and a source of pride to have known him. He truly was a legend." Yerkes, real name Brayton Walter Yerkes, who was born in Los Angeles County on February 11, 1932, started tumbling as a youngster and, at the age of 15, joined a circus as an acrobat. After Yerkes returned to Los Angeles, he performed his first stunt on screen in Julia Misbehaves, 1948. In films like Airport, 1970, Earthquake 1974, The Towering Inferno 1974, Return of the Jedi 1983, Ghostbusters 1984, Back to the Future 1985, Ferris Bueller's Day Off 1986, Who Framed Roger Rabbit 1988, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids 1989, Hook 1991, Batman Forever 1995, and Poseidon 2006. Yerkes went on to double for actors like Paul Newman, Robert Duvall, and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Throughout his career, Yerkes used his backyard boot camp in L.A., complete with elaborate stunt riggings, to teach a number of stunt performers. Number 4. Mitzi Gaynor. The beloved 1950s star Mitzi Gaynor passed away at the age of 93. Her role as Ensign Nellie Forbush in the 1958 film adaptation of Rodgers and Hammerstein's South Pacific earned her a Golden Globe nomination for her triple threat abilities as an actress, singer, and dancer. In an Instagram post, the celebrity's handlers revealed that she passed away peacefully on Thursday morning, October 17th, from natural causes. The announcement stated she delighted audiences on stage, in movies, and on television for 8 decades. She genuinely relished the immense honor of being an entertainer and every second of her professional career. Born Francesca Marlena de Chani von Gerber in Chicago on September 4, 1931, Gaynor gained notoriety for her stints as the lead in several 1950s film musicals, such as Les Girls, 1957, Anything Goes, 1956, and There's No Business Like Show Business, 1954. Gaynor, who was born to a violinist father and a dancer mother, had a head start in her career when her family relocated from Detroit to Los Angeles when she was 11 years old. 2 years later, she was hired as a vocalist and dancer in the Los Angeles Civil Light Opera. She signed a deal with 20th Century Fox at the age of 17, and she co-starred with Betty Grable in the 1950 movie My Blue Heaven, her feature film debut. She played a character based on early 20th century actress Lotta Crabtree in the musical Western Golden Girl, which gave her her first leading role the following year. Her first big screen success came in 1952 with the musical Bloodhounds of Broadway, based on a Damon Runyon story, which kicked off nearly a decade of starring roles that showcased her versatility and winning, shining personality, which manifested in film with a mix of innocence and sex appeal. She shared the screen with such established stars of the day as Ethel Merman, Johnny Ray, and Marilyn Monroe, and sang songs penned by Irving Berlin in There's No Business Like Show Business, as well as Bing Crosby and Donald O'Connor in the 1956 adaptation of Cole Porter's stage musical Anything Goes. Other highlights included 1957's The Joker is Wild with Frank Sinatra and Charles Vidor, and that year's Les Girls, which also featured music by Porter and co-starred Gene Kelly. Her winning streak continued when she landed a leading role in the World War II love musical South Pacific. Her energetic performances of I'm Gonna Wash That Man Right Out of My Hair and Some Enchanted Evening got her a Golden Globe nomination for Best Motion Picture Actress, Comedy yes Musical. Over the following few years, she starred in a few more films, such as For Love or Money, 1963, which starred Kirk Douglas, Gig Young, and Julie Newmar. However, she then turned to a lucrative career as the host of a number of television specials. In a 2012 interview with the TV Academy Foundation, she explained why she switched from the big screen to the little one. I quit films because they quit me. As the new Alice Faye, Betty Grable, Marilyn Monroe began performing in the Fox musicals. There was nothing for me to do, so I wasn't going to perform My Fair Lady or sing The Hills Are Alive with the Sound of Screaming. She famously performed between the two sets by the Beatles on a February 16, 1964 episode of The Ed Sullivan Show, singing a 13-minute medley of Too Darn Hot, along with The More I See You, Birth of the Blues, and When the Saints Go Marching In. The episode from the Deauville Hotel in Miami Beach aired a week after Sullivan legendarily introduced the Fab Four to American audiences in one of the most watched TV moments of all time.